thanks for coming to watch this video. If I haven't met you before, hi, my name's Carol Tinson. I have been umming and ahhing about doing this video, and in fact I've been sat here for the past half hour wondering how I was going to even start the video, but sometimes you just have to crack on, don't you? So here we go. I have been diagnosed with breast cancer, but first of all, before I go into that, I'm going to just backdate things a little because they become relevant for the future, okay? So if you are a regular viewer of my videos, you will know some of my health issues anyway, so you might want to skip this little bit. I have two chronic breathing conditions. One is asthma, which many of you will know about asthma. The other is bronchiectasis, which is a build-up of mucus in the lungs even. I also have type 2 diabetes, and I also have a liver condition which is NAFLD, which is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And those conditions have been going on for a little while. In the summer, my sugar levels rose very, very dramatically, to the point that the doctor called me in, well, the nurse called me in to do a keto test because they were worried that I was going to go into ketoacidosis, which is where your body starts to produce acid, and it can start to shut down your organs. Anyway, that turned out fine, but they decided to put me on insulin. So I now have to inject myself every day, and I don't like needles. Doesn't matter, it's real tiny and it's really thin, but I have to inject myself once first thing in the morning with it, and I have to take a tablet, and then 15 minutes before a meal. So that can be 3 times a day. So I end up having 3 to 4 injections a day. That plays a part in part of the story later on. So that was in the summer. I'm also under a new consultant at the hospital for my bronchiectasis mainly, and they decided to do a CT scan of my lungs, which turned out to be clear, surprisingly. But he phoned me up to say, on the CT scan, we found 2 lumps in your breast. So I'm going to refer you to the breast clinic. So I went along 4 days before my birthday, and it was my 60th birthday. So it was a special one, and my mum, my brother and myself were going to go away for the weekend to celebrate my birthday. But 4 days before my birthday weekend, I went into the breast clinic, saw the doctor. He tried to feel the lumps, but he couldn't feel them because they were quite deep. And so I ended up having a mammogram, and then I had another mammogram, then I had a third mammogram, then I went for an ultrasound scan. This was all on the same day. Went for an ultrasound scan, and they did a biopsy. Now, because I was lying on my right side, I could see the screen and could see what they were looking at, and I could see 2 black masses in my breast. So I went back in to go and see the doctor, and he said, okay, from what we've seen so far, I can tell you that you do have cancer. And I burst into tears, not because I had cancer, but just because on top of everything else that I'd got going on, it was too much. It was just another thing to add to the list of what was going on. So my daughter took me home, then I had to phone up all the family to let them know what was what. The following day I went for a CT scan where they inject you with this fluid which makes you feel like you want to go for a wee. Really strange. You actually feel like you're doing it, but you're not. So they did not a head to toe, but down to my waist CT scan. Then I had an MRI appointment, so I went and had that done. On the 16th of October, I went away for the weekend for my birthday. Wasn't quite as it should have been because it was a little bit marred by the weather and obviously my initial diagnosis. On the 16th of October, I still had a lovely time, by the way, because I spent it with my family, so, you know, we had a good giggle. On 16th of October, third time of trying this one, I went in for the full prognosis from the results of the biopsies and the scans and all the rest of it. And I'm going to read it to you because they give it me on a letter. So basically I have a grade 2. So if you don't know, prior to any kind of operation, they grade your cancer. And then after the operation, they then put it into a stage, which most of you will know with cancer, whether someone's got stage 1, 2, 3 or 4 cancer. So therefore then the severity of it. Grade 2, middle of the road. So I've got grade 2 invasive ductal carcinoma with lobular differentiation. Yeah, what's that all about? So basically, when in your milk ducts it started for me in my milk ducts, but it extended beyond, so that's where the invasive bit comes in. So it's gone beyond the milk ducts and it's just started to invade the tissue beyond that. Lobular differentiation is, I might be wrong, but I think it's to do with, so under here you have a load of lymph nodes, and you have a load of lymph nodes come down from your neck and also into your breast. So I have 2 lymph nodes that have got cancerous cells in them. So it's kind of metastasized into my lymph nodes. But it is ER8 and PR8, which is estrogen and progesterone fed. So that means that my cancer is fed by those things, by estrogen and progesterone. Oh, sorry, lobular differentiation isn't the lymph node bit. Also, there is a metastatic carcinoma in the lymph node sample from the left axilla, axilla being under here. So that's the basis of it, and next Tuesday, the 7th of November, I am going in to have my left breast removed, so I'm having a mastectomy. And then about 2.5 weeks after that, 2.5 weeks after that, I get to find out the diagnosis from what they've removed and what the next steps will be. Now, if you have a mastectomy, you have the option to have reconstructive breasts. But because of my diabetes, so this is why I told you about these earlier, because of my diabetes, they've said that the healing, hang on, it says on here somewhere, I discussed with you that performing an immediate breast reconstruction would be high risk for infection and wound issues. So that's why they're not doing reconstruction. So I'm going to be flat-breasted on the left side. They're not touching the right breast at all. Not immediately, because it's more important to deal with the cancer than it is to do with the visual effect of my breasts. But they are going to see about, what do you call it? where they give you a bra to wear, and you know, you wear a prosthetic. So I could have a prosthetic breast. I'm quite happy to go flat. So anyway, we'll see how those things go. But after the operation, you then go back to go and see what stage your cancer's at. Fortunately, it hasn't metastasised anywhere else in my body, because the three main areas where it can metastasise to is your lungs, oh joy, because of all my lung conditions, and your liver, oh great, because of my liver condition. And it can also metastasise into your bones as well. I would imagine it can go elsewhere, but those are the three main areas. And then they will decide whether I'm going to have chemotherapy and or radiotherapy. Now, I've already been told that with the chemotherapy they might not do that because of my lung conditions. They might decide to give me a smaller dose over a longer period of time, and you normally go every 3 weeks to go and have chemotherapy. And then radiotherapy, you have 5 consecutive days of treatment. That's not necessarily Monday to Friday, it could be any 5 days in the week, and you do that every week, and I think it's for around about 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I think. Sorry, just looking at the pooch. Come on, you, out of there. Come on. Out, thank you. So I won't get to know until nearer the end of November, middle to the end of November, and find out exactly what journey I'm going to be on. So yeah, it's been a weird time, because I've always been quite pragmatic about the fact that if I ever had breast cancer, they can take me boobs. I really don't care. They have no use for me now. I've never been one for wearing a bra very often. So I'm really not bothered about that part of it. I think the most difficult part has been the waiting in between the initial diagnosis, the tests, the full prognosis, the operation, and then obviously I'm going to have to wait again then to find out whether it's going to go further with the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and then therefore then how long that's going to take up of my life over 2024. I'm also going to be on a tablet for the next 5 to 10 years because of the hormonal indications with my breast cancer. It's been tiring mentally, not physically. It's been tiring mentally because I don't feel ill. I haven't suffered. I didn't even know about these lumps. So I'm really thankful that CT scan showed them up. But mentally, it's been exhausting because you don't know anything. So you're kind of in the dark. It's almost like you're sat in the waiting room and you're waiting to go and see the doctor. And you've 2 to 2.5 weeks in between each thing, waiting in that waiting room to go and see someone. So yeah, so because you don't know what's coming, even though you can watch loads of videos, and I watched all of Victoria Derbyshire's videos from a few years ago when she had cancer. So you kind of know a little bit what to expect, but obviously your own cancer means that you're going to maybe do a slightly different journey. And because you don't know what that journey is going to entail, you're sat in the dark not knowing sort of what's what, really. So since my full prognosis to my operation, which is next week, I've tried to be productive. I can't concentrate on work. I just can't concentrate on anything much at the minute. So I was like, right, I'm going to clean the house, except not my craft room. I haven't been in here. This is the first time I've been in here for nearly a month. So I cleaned the house top to bottom. I've started batch cooking so that I haven't got to worry about, you know, getting up and preparing food to eat. So I've been doing real simple meals that I've been able to put in the freezer that I can then just take out and reheat in the microwave. So I haven't really got to worry about that. But it's all things like the cushions that you need, because there are little heart cushions that you can purchase to put under your arm to protect your arm not rubbing against your scar. All sorts of things that grants and things like Macmillan nurses, there's a grant that you can apply for that, so I've got that to do. So there's all sorts of different things that you can do in the meantime, but it's all related to cancer stuff. So it's constantly there in your brain, and then of course you get letters and loads of leaflets. It's like a tree's worth of leaflets to read through. So you can go a couple of days and not really think about it, and then you get a letter, and then it's like, bloody hell, I've got cancer. And it's kind of weird to say that, because I'm not in any pain. There's no visual lumps or anything, so you feel a little bit of a fraud, really. But mentally, yeah, bit of a mind game. I nearly swore then. So yeah, it's been a weird one, and I will keep you up to date with what's going on. As I say, operation next week, operation removal of boobie, and we'll see where we go from there. I know that I'm going to have bouts of being tired. Yeah, it's a funny one, I tell you, funny one. Anyway, I've prattled on enough. I'm going to do some videos that I can upload so that you can watch them whilst I'm away. But if I'm away for long periods of time, know that it's because I've got health things going on. And of course the thing is, I've got 3 hospitals that I will probably have to attend. So I'll be going to Pinderfields for the operation, Pontefract if I have chemotherapy, and Leeds for the radiotherapy. So we're just going to have to see how things go. The best way in which you can support me is to watch all of my old videos, just to keep the channel alive. So I would really appreciate it if you could do that in the meantime, and then obviously I'll have some newish videos as well if I can get my finger out and get them done. But otherwise that's me, and I'll report back on my journey, on my breast cancer journey, as things happen. So thanks very much for joining me, and I'll speak to you all again really soon. And for all the ladies out there, do a breast check. It doesn't hurt. Look up what symptoms you can look out for to see if you've got breast cancer, and if ever you're in doubt, go to the doctors. Slightest thing, you know, go and have it checked out, because it's better safe than sorry. Okay guys, thanks very much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye.